Hello, fellow Stitchers. Welcome. This is Dina's channel, and I am here to give you my October update. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome for the first time if you're a new subscriber. And I'd like to give a special hello to William. Hey, William. Hope you're watching. I just wanted to tell you I've had a fabulous month in the month of October, and I have so much I'm so excited to share with you, so let's just jump right in. I hope today finds all of you well. It is October 31st, so happy Halloween. I didn't dress up for the occasion. I thought about it, but I just didn't, and decided I would just be my normal self. But I'm enjoying seeing some of your costumes and your videos. That's been a lot of fun. Happy Halloween, everyone. This is my Halloween display at my front entrance. I have fall leaves, happy harvest, and then if you look closely, I have a Halloween tree. Yes, Stitch and Petunia, I have one too. I have one. I'm so excited. Here's my little wizard at the top, and then here's the little mouse in the pumpkin with the skeleton trick-or-treat bag. Here's a little mouse ghost and a witch, a little mouse witch. Pardon me moving around. Here's a little witch, green-faced even. Little ghost with their pumpkin. And then here's another little pumpkin up here, a little girl. See if I can get you some more light here. Dressed in a pumpkin. And the ribbon says trick or treat on it that they're all hanging with. And I've got bows that say trick or treat. And orange and black bulbs, both matte finish and shiny. That makes up my Halloween tree. And you can see me in the mirror trying to get the pictures. That's the entrance. That's my little entrance way there. I just wanted to wish you happy Halloween. I want to talk about how my October has been. I hope yours has been just as fun for you as mine has been for me. I started out with a bang. I started with 4 sales, all taking place at the same time, 2 of which are yearly sales, so that's a little unfair. There's the Smoky Mountain Christmas sale that I'm a part of, and the Year of Whips challenge that a lot of us are a part of, so those are our side. But in addition to that, Stitch Mania had a sale called Baps and Smalls, and for the month of October I worked on Beach Babies and Sleeping Beauty, Cat Love, and Home of a Needleworker, all for that sale, and I posted pictures of that on Stitch Mania as I went along, so that was a lot of fun. Then the other sale that I took part in was the Cross Stitch and Discuss sale for the holiday sale that started on October 1st. And I started a new start for that, the Nativity. And on my previous videos, I've shown you Beach Babies and the Nativity, and of course haven't touched it since then because that was my rotation for October on those pieces. So I won't bore you and show those to you again. We'll skip those since we haven't added anything to them. But I would like to pick up from there. On October the 6th is when I was able to go to the fair and pick up my entries and get the judges' comments, and I shot a separate video on that for you and to share what I had learned. And thank you so much for the comments that I got back about not being discouraged, and some of the comments you've gotten from judges, and a little insight from Vonna on what those judges are looking for, which helped me tremendously. And I have been practicing on not pulling my stitches quite so tight, so I hope all of you have learned with me on that one. Then on October 7th, it was the weekend finish line, the weekend rush with Cross Stitch Finish Line. and I worked on cat love. And I had a goal on that one to do one more cat because there are 6 of them. And I'll remind you what this looks like. This is going to be a Christmas present, so I'm on a bit of a deadline now to get that finished. That is an Arcetera pattern, and now I'll show you where I am today. I did get the 4th cat cross stitched, so now you can see part of the O, the V, and the E from the cat's tails. They will spell out love in the end. And I went ahead and I started working on the blue and green in the window. You can see the window taking shape that they're all looking out of. So now I only have 2 more cats to do, finish the window across. I'm not going to do the wallpaper, but I am planning on finishing this up into a tote bag for the person that that's intended to be for. They don't watch my channel, so I think I'm pretty safe in showing that to you. But that's what I worked on for that first weekend rush. Then on October the 18th, I had a special, wonderful event. I have a friend that I met and knew for many, many years, and about 16 years ago, when my husband and I moved to our current location, we sort of lost track of each other. They moved, we moved, and we finally reunited and kind of got acquainted through Facebook. My husband actually put out a post on his Facebook that his wife had gotten ribbons at the fair, and she saw it and looked at the pictures and got in touch with me and said, "Do you still cross stitch?" Yes, I do. So we talked a bit on Facebook, messaged each other, and set up a time for her to come to my home and cross stitch with me. She used to cross stitch quite a bit and hasn't done it for probably 20 years, she said. Anyway, she went and bought her a new kit, like a starter kit, and tried to get started on it and said she'd forgotten so much. So when she came to my house on October 18th, she brought it with her, and I got her fabric all ready, serged it for her, and then we got started, and I taught her the loop start, something she had never known before. So she had a wonderful aha moment, she said. But we had a great time. We cross-stitched for several hours, 2 or 3 hours, and she was, I think, very much in love with it again. She went home, started working on it, and taught her grown daughter how to stitch at the same time. So now we have a new stitcher. I'm so excited. While she was here, I chose that time to work more on my Sleeping Beauty. Y'all will remember Sleeping Beauty. If you have been watching my channel at all, you'll remember that pattern. And I had a goal on Sleeping Beauty. I wanted to finish the 1/1 skin in her face. And I did. Haven't gotten the neck yet. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. But she has a face. I think she has a lovely face. I'm very pleased to see her now. So that's my Sleeping Beauty's face. And I'll back up and let you see kind of where I've come. I had worked a little bit across her body, getting her sash and flowers that are right up behind her started. My goal for the coming month is to finish the 1/1 on her neck, and then I'll just work on across to try to see if I can meet up with the flower container over on this side for next month. We'll just see how much we get done, but my effort is going to be on that 1/1 skin on her neck. I'm doing small goals because I have so many projects, but each of these are in the year of whips, so I definitely want to see how much I can get done on them as I go. So the other thing that I started working on that on the 18th as well was my Bewitching, and this is a pattern that I got at my retreat that I went to last May, my first ever stitching retreat. And I just think this is the most precious pattern. I'll back up a little bit so you can see the whole picture, but then I'll get a little bit closer so you can kind of see the image close up. I'm doing the witch right now. And it is for a birthday present for a friend for next year, but it's going to take a little while to stitch. So I got started on it. And when I first worked on it, I had nothing but her part of her hat done. So I'll insert a picture here. And now I'll show you where I am after this rotation. So finished her hat, and I got her sweet face on there. I think it's a precious face, absolutely precious. She's just cute. Just cute as she can be. So that's how far I got on Bewitching this month. Then the other thing I also worked on at the same time, or same time period between the 18th and the 21st, was Home of a Needleworker. And I used both Bewitching and Home of a Needleworker on the weekend rush that was on October 21st. So I'll get my project bag from Nail, little yellow house crafts that she did, and I'll remind you of what this looks like. I think most of you seen this is the Home of the Needleworker 2 with the blue house on it. I know Farm Girl was talking about how she had ordered one and they sent her the wrong one. They sent her the first one, and so she's gotten her second one now. She's much happier with it, and she's gotten started on it, and this is where I am now. So I've done just a little more of the green under the house, went up and got the door and the windows done. So my goal next month, and for the month of October, is to get the rooftop finished. I would like to finish the rooftop next time that I work on it, and so that'll be coming up soon. So I think I can manage that. Okay, so moving along, October 24th, 25th, and 27th was my period of rotation for Smoky Mountain Christmas. And I stopped on the 26th because that's the ABC sale. And but for the 3 days around it, I wanted to work on Smoky Mountain Christmas. I'm so enjoying this. If you're not in our Smoky Mountain Christmas sale group and you're interested in doing this one, I strongly encourage you to do that. This has been such a fun stitch. Love this picture. It just speaks to me so much. And I'll show you where I'm at. My goal last month was to try to finish the coat for Santa. I'll show you a picture of where it was. Now I'll show you where I am. I did finish the coat. I'm so excited. I'm trying to show it to you, but I can't tell what I'm showing yet. So here's his coat. It's beautiful. I love the quilted pattern to it. I enjoy the colors in it. The beautiful star on the back is just lovely. And then I went on up and did the sky in that same set of columns. I even got a start on the tree, and I don't know if you can tell it or not, but there's snow on the edge of that tree trunk right there, and there's filament in it, so it actually sparkles when the light hits it. It's really, really exciting. So my next month's goal, when I work on this next, is going to be to see the bottom where that sleigh is starting. I want to start there and work down this column, at least get that sleigh finished in this section that I've gone over to. And I may stop at that point and go back to this second bear and this ribbon. That's where I stopped backstitching. I wasn't going to backstitch this jacket, this coat, until I had the whole coat done and the sky around it. So I want to finish the sleigh over past the bottom of the coat, get anything there that might be touching it, and then I can do the back stitching of everything I haven't backstitched up until that point. And that's probably going to be a big, tall order for that month because there's a lot of backstitching in here. But I had left off at that second bear, and I wanted to, mainly because the ribbon run so far over that I needed to get all of that done before I really wanted to start back stitching it so I could get it all done at the same time. So I think that's important. I must tell you something. If you noticed in old pictures, this sky went all the way across here and down just a little bit. I had originally stitched all the way across the sky to make sure I was going to have enough fabric. But when I got over to it, to the tree, where the tree was to line up with the sky, you see there's the brown at the top. It didn't line up. I looked and I figured out what I had done. When I was doing that first row across to measure the width of the pattern, I had put in a couple of extra stitches. I had misread my pattern, probably looking away and looking back. I just picked up on the wrong spot, and I had a couple of extra stitches in that top row. Well, that threw the rest of that row off. Thank goodness it was only one row and just a little bit on the other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, the frog was at my house. Now, I've kicked him to the curb. I got him done. So I don't know where he went, so be on the lookout for him, okay? But I've had my turn with him. Anyway, I hope he doesn't come back anytime soon. But that's how far I got on that one. Then, as I mentioned, on October 26th is the ABC. Now, I know my ABCs, Sal, and I work on Children's Garden for that. This is another one of my project bags from Nail. I've been fortunate enough to get 2. I would love to have more, but that's how many I've been able to get. So let me grab this and the picture for you. Sorry for the crinkle. Okay. Little picture, sorry. But this is the Children's Garden. And you can see why I'm using it for the ABC Sal, because it does have those little letters and part of an alphabet. I think the bottom one may be a complete alphabet. And this is where I am now. I was able to go across the top and finish all the letters on the top. And I went to the bottom and I finished all but one row of letters on the bottom. I was going to have to move my Q-snap to get the next row. And since this is a piece I work on only that one day, that was about all the time that I was able to put in that day. And so that was a good accomplishment, I think, for this piece. So my goal next time is to go right up under this A, right here where you see it looks a little gappy. That's where the little boy's head meets up. So my goal next time is to do the hair for the little boy, and then hopefully I'll get even more than that, maybe faces. But I definitely want to get hair done for the little boy, for his head, on the next day that I work on that for that Sal. Okay, now that brings me to a really fun stitch. Many of you have been participating in Tracy P's birthday sale. That has been such a trip. I've enjoyed watching everybody's pictures that they've posted. I've loved hearing the stories of how they've personalized everything, put Mickey Mouse ears on her, or you know, make him look like them. Orietta, I think, put red glasses on one of them for herself. Just lots of good things. I'm not that creative. I went in my stash and found a beautiful piece of linen that I had made a Christmas present out of for my sister. You all have seen it. And I had a remnant of that that was big enough to do the Sister Stitchers pattern for Tracy. And it's a hand-dyed linen because, you know, Tracy loves beautiful fabric. And so I pulled that fabric out, and it's green. It has a green and tan mottled look to it. And the colors that the pattern called for just did not go. So I just threw all that out. I used the pattern just for the picture. I pulled my own colors, and I came up with my own version. And I did a little video of it because I put it in the mail to her for her birthday. So I will insert that video here and let you see my sister stitchers. Here is my finish. Most of you who watch FlossTube know that we've been helping Tracy P celebrate her birthday. And her idea this year was to have as many people that would like to participate in a birthday stitch along, stitching the pattern Sister Stitcher. This pattern was a free pattern, and it was on the primitivehare.com and under free patterns. So I downloaded the pattern and was busy working on goals for the month, and finally carved out a day or two to work on the birthday present for our friend Tracy P. I did this pattern on a Picture This Plus linen. It is a 32 count linen, and it's in the colorway Felt, V-E-L-D-T. I had used this for a Christmas present for my sister, and this is a piece that I had left over. So I had to pick threads that would look good on this green and tan mottled fabric. So all of these colors are of my choosing. None of them are on the pattern. I did the two women, one with the longer hair I considered to be Tracy P, and the one with the shorter hair I did darker hair for me. And I snuck my initials in between the spool here and the girl that's me. And in the middle between the two sisters, the stitching sisters, I blended the threads from both bobbins. So we're blended together, stitching together. Okay. The last whip that I want to show you is Firefly Fairies. And I've had a bit of discussion about this one with some of you already on some of the Facebook groups, and mentioned that this one has been a challenge for me. I haven't fallen out of love with it. I love the picture, but it has been a chore to stitch. I find myself putting it off until the very end of the rotation, which I did again this month. And then I almost dread getting started on it because it is so detailed and it has so many beads, and I am beading as I go. It's the first time I've done that, I think. Don't know that I'll do that again. It has been a bit confusing, and for me, it might be just fine for you. That may be the way you go and it works beautifully for you. So one of the people on the Facebook group made a suggestion to me to make very small goals on this piece and to stitch on it a very little bit. That way I would be making progress, but I wouldn't be tied up with it for 2 or 3 days on something that I found very difficult to stitch. It's not difficult as in I don't like it. It's difficult because it's difficult. It's just hard for me. So I took their advice, and I'm just here to tell you thank you very, very much, because this time, and I'm not taking it off the stand, so I'll just flip it around and show it to you. The goal I had was simply this head. I had a few beads in here, and that's all that I've added. So you pretty much are looking at the before picture at the same time. I added the blue, the third fairy. You see the beading there at the top. That was partially done. It had one color of beads in it, and then I put the other 2 in, and then I stitched the different colors of blue into the head. So that's what I got done on this one. My goal next month is to work over here on this sleeve and just get the sleeve done, and to catch up the last little bit of beads that are over here and the back stitching that's over here, so I'm through with that section, and get her sleeve done. It's a small goal, but that's what I'm going with because that's about all I think I can handle. Now, I'm excited though because I hit all my goals. I set goals for each piece. I didn't publish them, I just wrote them on my calendar. And then as I did each one, I checked it off. And I was very excited when I got to the end of the month and I had met all the goals. I like stitching to goals. I like stitching based on my sales. That's how I make my monthly plan. A lot of you like to get up and just stitch on whatever you want to stitch on. And that is awesome. And I have done that. And I like it. It's fun. But I can get obsessed by one. And I'll stitch on it for a week or two at a time. And then I won't get any progress on something else. And so I really like seeing my pieces progress. And so to make myself allow enough time to do that, I try to give myself a bit of a guideline, a schedule. It's in pencil. Okay, it's in pencil on my calendar. That means I can swap it around. I can do what I want to do. But if it's for a sal, then that makes it even better because then I know this is the day I really need to work on this because the sal's going on today. And that really helps me become motivated to put one down and pick up the next one. So that's what I'm doing for now. I did hit all my goals in October, and that was pretty exciting for me. But that wasn't the best part of October. The best part of October was the people that I got to interact with. I've told you, I think, the story already of the postcards, but if I haven't, I'll share it with you again. When I was paired with my postcard pal, when I started my year of whips, my postcard pal and I were to send postcards once a month. And I put into my video that I was having a hard time finding postcards. I discovered that when I went to look for a postcard for Vanna's daughter when she had a school project and she needed cards from across the country. Well, not only did I get some great suggestions on places to find postcards, but one of my viewers, whose name is Heather, sent me a message that she had recently been to an estate sale and had picked up a whole set boxes of postcards, different views of beautiful places in the country and beautiful sports events and things of that nature. So she sent me a whole selection, more than I will need for the year. So if I have a hard time finding postcards, I have a ready supply and I've already used one of them. So thank you again, Heather. That made my day. And then this month, when I did my giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers, thank you again for that. One of the ways that I wanted people to sign up so that I didn't have to write giveaway in the title and have trolls out there, looking for something like that, is I asked everyone to share with me the story of their favorite stitch that they've ever done. I had some of the nicest, most meaningful stories shared with me about pieces that you've stitched for your family or friends or to honor special occasions or to honor people that have been in your life. And one of the comments on the video was that their favorite stitch happened to be Autumn Sky. Well, Autumn Sky is out of print, and it's one I've been looking for and stalking eBay for months. So I wrote a comment back and just said, I don't guess you would ever want to sell that pattern since it was your favorite, would you? And believe it or not, this floss tube viewer wrote me back and said, I don't even know if I still have this pattern, but be happy to look. Not only did she have it, but she emailed me back and said that she found it and she wanted to gift it to me. And the reason she wanted to gift it to me rather than sell it to me is that she had been watching floss tube for about 2 months. I think I have the time frame right. But it had meant so much to her. What all of us are doing, putting out these videos, had meant so much to her that was her way of giving back. And the only requirement she had of me is that when I finish stitching it, I'm to pass it along and let someone else use it that would like to stitch it. Of course, I'll be happy to do that. So I am now the proud owner of one of those patterns, and I am ecstatic. I cannot wait to start it. Of course, it's tough. I'm in the year of whips. I would like to get one of my whips done before I start it. That's sort of what's holding me back, but I've already started looking at kitting it up. So I don't know if I'll make it that long or not. But thank you again. And I did ask permission to share her name, and she has agreed that I could do that. So I want to give a special thank you to Brenda Holzman. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. For your generous gift to FlossTube, because not only will I get to use the pattern, but then as soon as I'm done with it, I will do a giveaway, and I will do a random drawing so everybody that's interested has an equal opportunity, you know, to use it, and it will be a giveaway in honor of Brenda. So just wanted to let you know, your generosity is overwhelming to me. It really, really is. So I also wanted to mention this. The winner of my giveaway has made contact with me, and I'm ecstatic about that. Hi, Judy. I hope you're watching. And her prize is in the mail to her. And Judy shared with me that she has 2 or 3 Mirabilia patterns, and she hasn't been able to kit them up to do them yet. So I'm excited because this may be the first Mirabilia that she gets to work on. And wouldn't that be exciting to be the reason that she gets to do that? I'm turning my notes over here so I don't forget anything. It really blessed me that I was able to share a pattern with someone that truly, truly wants to do it, and that it means a lot too. So that was just lovely for me. That was quite inspiring for me. So that's the end of my whips for the month. So let's talk about the little bit of haul I have. I have about 3 items. One is a cart. I've seen a lot of your carts from people that have been getting them from IKEA. And then I saw a floss tuber who said, hey, people, don't go to IKEA. Go to Target. They have it for like $29. So I did go to Target, and I got a cart. I'm going to wheel it over here and show it to you. So here's my cart. This is it. Isn't that cool? It's 3-tier. It's on wheels. As you can tell, it's quite lightweight. I can pick it up. And I've been loading it up with all of my whips. And that's where they're living now. So I can just roll them around to me and talk to you about them. I've been storing them in these plastic bins. I showed you this cart before. Well, it's full now. I've got more than I have plastic bins. So what I will do now is I'll put the ones that I'm currently working on in those bins, and then as I begin to kit up new ones coming along, I can either swap them out and put my active ones on my cart, or vice versa. And so I'll be playing with it to see what I like about that. But I'm pretty excited about that. This is all the stash I've got. I ordered fabric. Picture this plus fabric. This is a 32 count Lugana, and this is gingerbread. And that's looking really good. That looks just like it. And then this is doubloon, and I've seen several of you using doubloon, so I was enabled to get this. So I ordered that. It's also 32 count. These are, this is also Lugana. I think I got all mine in Lugana. I like Lugana. This is called Ancient. And if, oh, it's showing up very well. It's got the little bit of a greenish tan and then a swatch of this blue-gray running through there. So that's really pretty. And this one is called Heather. Isn't that beautiful? That purple. So those were the 4 fabrics that I have purchased, looking forward to kitting up some things for Stitch Mania. And before I get started on the stitching from stash and my stash ban challenge that I'm going to be going on with Stephanie and so many of you, I went ahead and placed that order because those fabric pieces aren't inexpensive, and I went ahead and used what I had in my budget. I do have a stash budget, and I went ahead and used what I'd been saving up for a little while to get this fabric. Some people have started the stitching from stash and their budget early in the month of October because they caught themselves lunging ahead and buying a lot of things in anticipation of not being able to buy on the spur of the moment. But I gave Stephanie just a message the other day letting her know that I have a stitching retreat coming up in November, and they're going to bring their mobile store with them, and she gives us a really good discount on fabrics and patterns. And so I have carved out a bit of my budget for that, and I want to do that before I start in January on the strict budget adherence. I'm already on a strict budget anyway because I'm retired, but I intend to hold to that very fully. So I'm going to wait till after my retreat in November, so I may get my last little bit of haul for that. So let's talk about upcoming events. Let's talk about November plans. I was going to do more of a vlog for October, and I did put up a couple of extra videos with special topics for you and showed you my whips as I was going in the beginning. And then October sort of got busy. We almost bought another home as far as a place to move to for retirement. We were in very serious negotiations on that, decided to walk away from it. It wasn't meant to be. But it did get us kick started on getting our house ready to put on the market. And so I have been spending the last 2 weeks going through the home, making a list of freshening up things you have to do, and you know, just like paint this room and repair this little piece, you know, something over here that didn't bother us, but now if we're going to put it on the market, it has to be fixed. And so I have spent the last week talking to repair people, getting quotes on repairing some tile that had come loose in the shower, or, you know, cleaning the granite in the kitchen. So little things like that that I think are going to make a big difference for someone buying the home that's going to want it pristine and in perfect condition. So I didn't get to video very much, but I did keep stitching, mostly at night. I've lost a little sleep this month, trying to hit my goals. But for the month of November, I have a lot going on, not as much, so maybe I can video a little more frequently. But on November the 1st, I will be participating again in several sales. Two, of course, are cheats because they're year-long. The Year of Whips is a sale. It's a challenge. And then my Smoky Mountain Christmas, as you know, is long-term until I finish that piece. And so those two are already going on. But there's also a finish line sale called Holiday Project, and you're to start something new that's going to either be a gift for someone at Christmas, or it's a Christmas theme item. So they want to help you get started so you'll have it ready for Christmas. As it turns out, I'm going to a stitching retreat in March, and I'm so excited about it. It's in Indiana, and Vanna Pfeiffer is teaching classes at this retreat because it's being sponsored by her local needlework shop. And she is going to have a class on finishing ornaments. So I have the pattern of the one we're to finish when we get there, and I'm going to start stitching it on November 1st. And then on November 1st, there's also another sale in Stitch Mania, and it's called Something Old, Something New, Something Borrowed, Something Blue. So for me, it's a month-long sale. I'm going to stitch on Smoky Mountain Christmas for the old because it is an old pattern I've had for many years, and it's one of my oldest whips. Then I'm going to stitch on the Home of the Needleworker for blue because the house is blue, and I'm going to start on the body of the house. And then the borrowed part, I'm going to do Sleeping Beauty because I have that pattern borrowed from Kate. It was a gift that she did, a free giveaway, but I just consider it something borrowed because I will gift it away when I'm done. And then for new, I will pick Bewitched back up because Bewitched is for a birthday next year, but it's in the first part of the year, so I need to get it done. Then there are going to be weekend rushes. They're going to happen twice in November, and I'll be participating in those, Lord willing. And then on November the 8th, I'm very excited about this. I'm going to a stitching meetup that I organized. I think Abby has rubbed off on me. Thank you, Abby, for the inspiration. But I'm having a meetup near where I live, and we're going to meet at Centerville Public Library in Centerville, Georgia. It's near the middle of Georgia, and I've invited any of our Georgia Stitchers that are in our group that normally meet up in Kennesaw if they want to drive just a little bit to come down and join us. But there are going to be at least 3 or 4 of us stitching that day at the library. We have a private meeting room that we can use. And so I'm very excited about that. And yes, it is election day. So I'm hoping everyone will get out and vote first. I've already voted. I did early voting. And then come on over and stitch. And then we can sort of stay out of all of that craziness that goes on with that last minute worry if we want to. And we can just stitch the day away, which will be wonderful. Then, of course, I'll be in the ABC SAL on the 26th again, and I'll be working on my children's garden, and I think that'll help tremendously to get me through my whips again. I've set small goals that I wrote on my calendar for each piece, and I'll let you know at the end of the month, or as I go through the month, how I'm doing on them, and we'll go from there. I hope that you've had a good month as well, that you've got a lot of stitching done. I hope the frog didn't come to your house when he left mine. Really hope he's out in the street somewhere. I've enjoyed so much watching your videos. Looking forward to the end of the month because everybody will do another update, and then I'll have another box full of things I can watch while I stitch. But again, happy Halloween to all of you. Happy birthday, Tracy P. And I hope that you have a wonderful month, the month of November. We all have a lot to be thankful for because we get to enjoy this beautiful craft. And I hope that you have a lovely Thanksgiving. I'm sure I'll be talking to you before then, but if I don't, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you to have a blessed one and a safe one, especially if you're traveling to see family. And until I talk to you again, happy stitching.